Hello guys, my name is Donnie and welcome to my channel. In today's video we're not going to be working on the BMW but rather on its steering wheel because it needs some loving. It has seen better days and I really want to give it a go at reupholstering it with leather. I haven't done something like this before, so I'm going to see if I can have it done. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sharp knife and undo these stitches, and then I'm going to use this old leather as a template to put onto the new leather. So I've got a couple of pieces of this off-cut leather left from the McLaren. This is what I used on the McLaren for the upholstery. So I've only got a couple of shorter pieces like this, so I'm going to probably have to join pieces of leather on the BMW very strategically so it'll look nice. I'll probably be making a joint over there and one over there and see if I can make a steering wheel that is worthy of that BMW. The other thing that I'm also going to be trying is I've got some of this foam and I want to put it in between the new leather and the steering wheel just to beef up the grip on the steering wheel a little bit. I don't want to overdo it too much. So I'm going to give that a go. So I'm probably going to have to cut the new pieces of leather a little bit wider than the old one so that this will fit in there. And then as far as the stitches go, I'm going to go for what is called a baseball stitch. So it's just a crossover stitch, but let's see how this goes. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off these stitches with this little knife, and then I'm going to use this old leather as a template for the new ones. Guys, so now that I have taken off the old leather and I've had a look at the pieces of offcut that I have, I've decided that I'm going to be making the seams right about more or less there and there, and say one over here and over here, but that can easily change as I progress. But the first thing that I'm going to attempt to do now is to put these pieces of foam on the steering wheel to thicken it up a little bit, and then I can continue with doing the leather work afterwards. Right guys, so I've put the foam over the steering wheel. Unfortunately it wouldn't stick to the rubber as I had hoped, so I enforced it with some of this masking tape. Maybe I was just impatient for the glue to dry properly and it wouldn't stick, but that is definitely one of my worst characteristics, is being impatient. Now I'm going to start making the leather sleeve, I don't know if that's the right word, that goes over the steering wheel. And I think that my biggest challenge is going to be getting the leather to sit very, very nicely on this line here and here, and also at the bottom. Okay guys, so after carefully laying out my pieces of off-cut leather, I see that I'm going to have to make the steering wheel out of 5 pieces. So I've made more accurate markings where I'm going to be splitting or putting these pieces of leather together. The other thing that I've also seen is with the adding of this foam to the steering wheel, I've added a whole centimeter in the circumference of the steering wheel. It used to be 9 centimeters around, it is now 10 centimeters around, so I won't be able to just trace the old piece of leather and assume that it's going to fit. I'm going to have to add at least 1 centimeter right around. And also the other thing is these parts here at this of the steering wheel is also going to be thicker and bulkier, so I'm not going to be able to use this as a pattern for my new leather, but I'm just going to use it as a basic reference, and then I'm going to cut a bit larger than those markings, and then I'm going to be trimming it off so that it'll fit nicely on the steering wheel as it should. Okay guys, now that I've got all the pieces cut to size, I'm gonna sew them together in one straight length, and then I'm gonna check the fit over the steering wheel, and then I can start with the baseball stitch. Let's do it. Okay guys, so there we go, the new cover is made, or kind of. Now I need to start fitting it to the steering wheel, and I gotta tell you guys, I really am a little bit out of my depth here. I have not done something like this before, or well, not this intricate, that's for sure. So what I do now is I'm gonna have to make some indentations in the steering wheel for these spots where I sewed the material together, because it does thicken quite a lot. I don't know if it's gonna look nice. Well, I don't know, I might just fold it over and put it in like that. Could also look nice. But in any case, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by trying to get these three corners to fit better, or to start sewing them into position, and then I will continue by sewing these parts of the steering wheel together with the baseball stitch that I want to use. But like I said, I'm gonna flip it over, I'm gonna pull these parts together like that, and over there and there as well, and see if I can just get these corners to align nicely, and then I will pull and maneuver the rest of this new cover into position, see if I can make it work. But let's give it a go. Alrighty then guys, there we go, done and dusted. Let me just clean up this operating table quickly. Right guys, I'm not a critic, but if I was, I would have given myself 6.5 out of 10, but I'm not, so I'm giving myself full marks. This was hard work guys, even though there's a couple of things that could probably be done better. Like for instance, if I make this leather cover next time around, I'm gonna make the diameter a little shorter so that it'll be a much tighter fit, and I won't have all these wrinkles happening over here. But guys, this took me many hours to do, and I was tired, and it was the middle of the night, and I just had to finish it. these last couple of stitches over here was absolutely murder on my hands. It was just so freaking hard to do, but I guess that's how it goes every time you try something new. This was a new experience for me, and I'm sure that I can do it better next time, but I'm happy with it. It's not bad. It'll do. So guys, the next thing I'm gonna do in the next video is I'm gonna install the steering wheel in the BMW, and I've already finished off all the other things that needs to be done on it. So you're gonna see that in the next video, and then we can take it out for a drive, and then I can go and get some ice cream.